Hello again guys, Kadima with another Dragon's Dogma 2 video, this time showing you how to farm worm crystals in the most effective way possible. So you want to be in Verwood, you want to be in your house, and you want to go to sleep. After you wake up, you want to run from your house to the main gate, and you want to check if there's a dragon there. If there isn't a dragon there, all you have to do is return to your house and go back to sleep. Keep in mind that the dragon may take something between 14 to 21 days to show up. I recommend that you sleep for the first 14 days, and after that, you sleep once and you go and check at the gate, you go back to sleep, check at the gate, go back to sleep, check at the gate, day by day, so you don't miss the dragon. That being said, you rested in your house and you come to the gate and voila, there's the dragon. That means you are good to go. I'm going to speed up the fight so we save a little bit of time. You don't really have to see what's going on. What I do suggest is that you guys take a look at my channel uh, so you can see the thief build that I'm using. Also, I do recommend that you use a party of you as a thief and two other thieves that have plunder. It is important that when you check the thieves you are about to summon, that you make sure they have plunder. As for your main pawn, I suggest you use the main pawn as a mage because it will keep you guys alive, and it also can have the ultimate for the mages that will boost your stamina, making the whole process a lot faster. As I am about to kill the worm, I want you guys to take notice of what I am about to do. So I kill the worm. I'm going to slow back things to normal speed. I had 110 Wyrmslife crystals before I killed this dragon, and now I have 125. That means this dragon dropped me 25 crystals, which is not good enough, I'm afraid. So what you want to do is you want to quit without saving, you want to go back to the main menu, and you want to load from the last in rest. And that will bring you back to your house in Verwood just before you fought the dragon. And what you are going to do is you are going to run back to the gate as you would, and you are going to fight the dragon all over again. And the reason why I want you guys to see it is, as you see, I have 110 crystals. That means the last dragon dropped me 13 crystals or 15 crystals, something like that. So, and that's not really good enough. You can get way more than that. So you go back to the dragon. I'm going to speed things up again with my thief. This is a very easy thing to do. Keep an eye on the right side of the screen, as you will see sometimes the worm crystal showing up, meaning that my carve is actually stealing worm crystals from the dragon, which is perfect. Sometimes the other thieves will do it for you. So always do remember to check the inventory for the other two thieves to make sure you don't waste any worm crystals, and that you send them to your character so they don't get lost in the process. As you just saw, I used plunder once the dragon was down to get a few more worm crystals. It's always nice to get as many worm crystals as possible. You should be getting around 50, between 50 to 60 crystals with this farm. Sometimes you'll get a little bit more. Keep in mind, you loot the dragon, you check how many you got. In this case, I got 13. I could be happy with 13, but again, I'm not. So I'm going to do this process again. I'm going to speed up again this entire process, reloading from the last in rest, going back to my house, going back to the dragon. And keep in mind, this is most effective to be carried out only in Verwood, because it's the only time you actually can go back to the last rest in. If you try to do that after you killed one of the following dragons that I'm going to show you, it's not going to work. You will reload the game just after you kill the dragon if you reload the last save, or you can reload all the way back here, and you don't want to do that, or else you'll not be doing any actual farming. Again, keep in mind, plunder as soon as the dragon goes down. Watch for your pawns stealing worm crystals as well, always make sure you check their inventory. You don't want to waste them. As you just saw right there on the screen, worm crystal plus times 5. I do the plunder, I get an extra 5. I actually spawned that plunder too much. As you saw, there was nothing else to steal and I was still trying. Well, it doesn't really hurt, does it? You check again, you loot the dragon as soon as you can, and as you can see, this time I've got a total of 130. This means that this one dragon gave me 20 worm crystals, which is a good number. It's not the utmost you can get. You can get sometimes up to 25, sometimes 30, but 20 is a good amount. So what you want to do next is you want to use a stone and you want to go to Harv village. And from the village, as soon as you arrive, I'm going to speed up this bit a little. You want to go through this cave, up, out of the village, to the left. And I'm going to show you where the second dragon will be. Now, it is important to say that the dragons are not always going to be here. I actually got very lucky with this run. All the dragons were here, but sometimes one of the dragons is not going to be there. Sometimes two of the dragons are not going to be there. But again, this is still the most effective farming method, and I've tried pretty much everything there is. I tried different locations, but this is by far the most effective method to get as many worm crystals as possible. Right, you see me kicking the ass out of the dragon. My thief build is pretty much broken. Make sure you check it out on the channel so you are using it the right way. When it comes to the weapon that you are using, if you don't have the weapons or the armor that I'm using, just go with whatever you got highest. In this case, you can actually see that I stole a wake stone this time, which is not ideal, but wake stones are precious loot as well, so I was not really upset. There was nothing to steal, but I actually managed 6 crystals when doing that carve on his chest, which made up for the plunder not being great. Now, you loot the dragon. You saw I had 130, and in this case, I now have 156. So this dragon had a total of 26 crystals, which is awesome. Now, after you finish killing this dragon, what you want to do is that you want to jump down this little path down here, turn left, and I'm going to speed up the route to the next level, to the next dragon. Here you go. You keep running forward. There are some enemies here. You can just quickly dispatch them with a smoke bomb. Easy does it. You keep running forward. Make sure you manage your stamina accordingly. Don't run out of stamina completely, or you just be stood there for a while until you recover it. There are some wolves here. Sometimes there are goblins as well. Make sure you kill them. And it's important that you loot these enemies and you kill them, because you will be selling the items you get from their loot to recover enough money to buy more fairy stones. As you can see, just across this bridge, as you keep going forward, there is the third dragon. As I said, I was very lucky with this run. All the dragons were here. Sometimes this one isn't here. Sometimes this dragon is just around the corner. I will show you where it might be. But as you fight the dragon, keep an eye for worm crystals. As you just saw, I stole another 6. Sometimes they are not being stolen by yourself. Sometimes it will be your thief mates in your party that will steal them. So always make sure you check their inventory so you don't waste any worm crystals. So you make good work of the dragon. Again, do the plunder, steal again as much as possible. Unfortunately, the other two are not very interested in doing the plunder. They are just hanging on to the dragon. And as I was just about to kill the dragon, I actually flew down, fell down the cliff, and I nearly died. But never mind. I made it. I got all my loot. I recovered. Gandalf healed me, and this one had 20 crystals, which is not so bad. So we are good to go. Keep going forward. But as you see, this one had 6 crystals on him, so that's a total of 182 now. So that means that 3 dragons so far, we have managed to gather 62 worm crystals, which is not so bad. That gives us around 20 crystals per dragon. Now, sometimes this dragon is just on the left side of this little cliff that I'm walking by, not down here. This is he's on the other side of this massive rock. So if you go past the bridge and the dragon isn't there, make sure you go to the left of the pathway instead of the right, which is where I'm going now. Go through the left, sometimes he is there. I'm just going to speed up this little bit of the video because there's no point in me showing you how to kill thieves and other little guys on the way to the next dragon. Now, this route will take you to complete from side to side without speeding anything up. Every run will take you about 15 to 20 minutes. So if you manage to get all that many worm crystals every 20 to 30 minutes, I say that's a very good way to farm for crystals without having to go into the unmoored world. Now, I make a good job of this guy. I had to recover a little bit of stamina because I wanted to get good to go. You jump down and through this path, keep going forward. You will run into some goblins. Just get rid of them. With my thief build, you can even do it on your own. You don't even need to wait for anyone. You can just do it yourself as your Auditore style. And you are going to turn left where these lizards are. And as you can see in that little forest area to the left of where I am just now, the dragon will most times be standing there in the middle of those trees. But again, I do recommend that you keep walking forward because sometimes the dragon may be further forward. So as you can see, most times he will be standing right there in front of me, right there in those trees. That's where the dragon is most of the time. But as you just see there in the corner of my eye, the dragon was actually further forward. So again, I was very lucky. All 4 dragons showed up and I was able to kill all 4 of them. But keep in mind, sometimes one of them is not going to show up. Sometimes 2 of them are not going to show up. If that is the case, don't bother. Just keep going forward until you reach this area. This is where our farming route ends with this dragon. After you kill this dragon, what you are going to want to do is basically reset, repeat. You want to go back to Verwood. You want to use a peristone to do that. You want to go back to sleep. For 14 days. After you sleep for 14 days, go and check the gate every day. Go to sleep, go check the gate, go to sleep, go check the gate, go to sleep, go check the gate until the dragon shows up. Once the dragon shows up in town, you are good to go. Start the run again, kill all the dragons as you go along, and gather as many crystals as you want. Do remember that if the first dragon doesn't drop you that many amount of crystals, you can always reset that dragon. It's the only one that you can reset by going back to the main menu and going back to the rest to the last in rest and start from there until you get enough crystals from that one kill. And then I hope you guys are lucky as I was in this run. This footage was recorded in one go. It's not me doing several runs and running into them on different occasions. No, this was all done in one go. There's no breaks here, as you just saw. But again, I think it's very important that you guys understand that not always all 4 dragons are going to be there. But still, this is the most effective way to farm worm crystals. I hope you guys liked the video. Please leave a like and share it with your friends. Subscribe if you haven't just yet, and I appreciate all your support. I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheerio!